Hello and welcome to another episode of Soap Goes to the Oscars. This is episode 38. This is the second movie I'm reviewing in the seventh Oscar ceremony, which was 1934 movies. And I'm recording this on August 27th, 2024, same day I watched it. The movie I watched was called The House. The movie I watched was called The House of Rothschild. I saw this on YouTube, and it was a relatively shorter one. It was about 88 minutes, so not bad there. A little bit of Wikipedia info before I get into my thoughts on it. So I did not know this until I just started looking at Wikipedia, but this was sort of loosely based on a real family, the Rothschild family. And from Wikipedia, The House of Rothschild is a 1934 American pre-code historical drama film directed by Alfred L. Werker and starring George Arliss, Loretta Young, and Boris Karloff. It is adapted by Nunnally Johnson from the play by George Humbert Wesley. What's with these names? And chronicles the rise of the Rothschild family of European bankers. Cinematography, J. Peveril Marley, edited by Barbara McLean and Alan McNeil. So, George Arliss also starred in another movie I reviewed from 1929 called Disraeli. He was a politician in that one. And then Boris Karloff, the first movie that he was in that I watched in this was Five Star Final. He's kind of a creepy dude in that, so which I think is what he always is. But was kind of surprised to see him. Like I said, this was sort of loosely based on the Rothschild family, which was a real family of bankers. This says the movie was produced by Daryl Zanuck, who was not Jewish, as an attack on Nazism and anti-Semitism following Hitler's rise to power in Germany in 1933. The story was suggested to him by George Arliss, also non-Jewish, who had made successful film appearances as Jewish characters like Shylock and Benjamin Disraeli. Arliss was given the dual role of Amschel Rothschild and one of Rothschild's sons, Nathan Mayer, who settled in England. Zanuck faced behind-the-scenes opposition from Jewish concerns, such as the Anti-Defamation League, but the screenplay passed the muster of the Hayes office, one of whose officials, James Wingate, found no cause for objection, and even suggested it be shown to a representative of the German government, a step Zanuck refused to take. In December 1933, the project was endorsed in one major Jewish journal, the B'nai B'rith Messenger. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, so apologies. Historical accuracy. The film takes several creative liberties with Rothschild family history. Amschel Rothschild did not die until 1812 during the later stages of the Napoleonic Wars. He is portrayed as not having lived to see in the movie. Only two of his five sons were actually present at his deathbed. The rest were already established in other European countries. Nathan Rothschild, born 1777, would have been only 3 years old in 1780 when the film begins. The relationship between Captain Fitzroy and Julie Rothschild is fictional. Nathan Rothschild had no daughter named Julie. The Captain Fitzroy, who did become his son-in-law, albeit after Nathan died in 1836, was born in 1807, therefore a child at the time of Waterloo, and married in 1839 Hannah Rothschild, Nathan's second daughter, born 1815. Also in the 18th century, Frankfurt was a free city, and the Holy Roman Empire did not belong to Prussia until 1866. Prussian Count Ladrance, Nathan Meyer's antagonist, played by Boris Karloff, was a purely fictional character written in the story by Nunnally Johnson. Forgive my voice, I'm losing it for some reason. So, as this said, it was put together by non-Jewish people about a wealthy Jewish family. And at the beginning, I was kind of cringing a little bit, just at the sort of the portrayal that Arliss was doing. As it said, he started out playing Amschel Rothschild, and in the beginning, he's very like sort of stingy, and the tax collector's coming, and he's trying to hide all his money so that he doesn't know how much they actually make. And it kind of jumps very quickly to him dying. And his sons are there, 5 sons. They're all pretty young. The oldest one is Nathan, and he's very smart. And then it jumps ahead and into 1780, I think, or no, I guess closer to like the Napoleonic Wars, like 1810s, 1812, whatever it was. Nathan is now older and, has his own bank, and so do his brothers and things. But the only thing I'll say is like the time, I guess it would have been about 30 years. They all seemed older, like because their mother was still alive and she was 88, and she did not seem old enough to be, they seemed older than her. So it was a little confusing once she showed up. She was only briefly in it again after the main guy died. But I didn't think I was going to like this at first. And it wasn't my favorite overall, but by the end of it, I did enjoy it. It was basically, Nathan scheming to scheme. That's not really the right word, but he gets information before a lot of other people do. He tends to, and people don't know how. And he finds out that France is looking to get a huge loan to finance the war. So he and his brothers put in a bid for it to try to basically finance the entire war. And they're turned down by Boris Karloff's character, essentially because they're Jewish. And like I said at the beginning, and then in some of the stuff that they showed, there was a lot of anti-Jewish sentiment in it. And I don't think it didn't feel like it was intentionally like against Jews, but it was just a little cringy in the portrayal in the beginning, especially. But the guy, George Arliss, is very good. I liked him. I didn't love Disraeli either, but I liked him a lot in it. He was very like charismatic, and he's a good actor. So I won't go into all the detail of the movie, but I said it was relatively short. It was a quick watch. More interesting now that I know it was based on a true story. And I mean, there's a whole separate Wikipedia page just about the Rothschild family and kind of what they did during the Napoleonic Wars and stuff. So not bad. I think I gave it 2.5 on Letterboxd. I'd maybe bump it up to a 3, but it'd be somewhere in between there. So it wasn't terrible. What was the first one here? The first movie I watched was One Night of Love. I don't think I liked that one. Like I said, this one I watched on YouTube, so it was $0. I did just have to buy one on DVD that I can't seem to find anywhere, so that was $17. So last round, I averaged like 42 cents or something per movie. This time so far, I'm at like over $5 a movie. So, but still lots of movies to go, and I think a few of them will be free. So, whatevs. I don't mind spending money on this. I'm trying to find the best deals that I can, even when I got to buy a DVD or something. But I'm not really against having to do that. So yeah, overall, not a bad movie. Better than the first one I watched for this round, but we'll see how the rest go. That's all I got. See you next time.